With our database setup, we can start creating the models for our API. Our API will have 5 models, which are user, thread, channel, reply, and favorite. To create our models, we will be making use of the sequelize CLI. So I'm going to open my terminal, npx sequelize CLI. Then the name of the model will be user, and the attributes will be email, which will be a string, username, which will also be a string, password, which will also be a string. This will create a new users.js file inside the models directory and the corresponding migration file in the migrations directory. Now let's update the migration file. First, we want to set the type to UUID. Then because of that, we will remove auto increment. Then we'll set a default value, which will be sequelize dot UUID version 4. Also, we want to make the email field non-nullable and unique. We'll do the same thing for the username field. The password will be non-nullable as well. Then we will add 2 more fields, which will be for role. The type will be enum. And a user can either be an admin or a normal user. We want this to be non-nullable as well. And we want to give it a default value of user. Lastly, the avatar field. And the type will be string. And the field can be nullable. I'm going to copy this and head over to the user model. I'm going to replace all this with what I copied. Then instead of sequelized, this will be data types. In the same vein, let's create the channel model. And it will have a name attribute, which will be a string, and some other fields, which we will add directly inside the migration file. Let's open the migration file. And I'll copy this from here. This will be non-nullable. And we'll add a new field for the slug. Again, I'll copy all this and head over to the model. Next, we'll do the same thing for the thread model. And this will be title. While we are here, let's also generate the reply and favorite models. Now let's update the files. I'm going to close my terminal. Let's copy this from here. Then this should be non-nullable. Let's copy this as we'll be creating more fields. This should be slug. This should be the content. And it should be a type of text. Then we have the user ID, which should be UID. Then the channel ID, also it will be a type of UID. Then we have a status field, which should be a type of enum, with values of unsolved and solved. Then we set the default value as then we add another field, which will be is logged, and it will be a type of boolean. And it will also have a default value of false. Lastly, we'll have a field for last replied at. This will be a type of date. Again, let's copy all this and head over to the model file. Let's also update the reply migration file. Then this will be the reply content, and it will be a type of text, and it won't be nullable. Let's copy this. Then we have the thread ID field. This will be UUID. Also, we have the user ID. Lastly, we have a is best answer field. This will be boolean, and it will have a default value of false. Let's copy this. Then the favorite migration. We won't be needing the ID field, as well as this. So this will be the reply ID, and this will be a type of UUID, and it cannot be null. Then we have another one for the user ID. copy this. Since we don't want the timestamps fields for this model, we need to disable that. And lastly, since this model does not have the ID field, we need to disable that as well. Before we run the migrations, I noticed I made a typo in the thread migration file. So let's update that. This should be lowercase l. And this as well. Now we can run the migrations. db migrate. For whatsoever reasons, running the migration using npx keep returning this error, while we have indeed installed the package. So I'm going to switch to using the CLI directly. Then db migrate. Now if you come to our database client and refresh this, we should see our tables.